Welcome to the fourth tutorial, and now we're starting to have some fun with Photoshop. Mary's kindly agreed to let us work with her image a bit. It's not an ideal image because it's very, very low resolution. It's from her LinkedIn profile, so you can see there's some artifacts and things that we can't quite get rid of. But today we're just doing this quick and easy for fun just to show you what we can do. So this is the original image of Mary. Now I've already gone in and taken out some of the background, sort of cropped out her neck and the background, and it's a single layer like this. Because she's always said she really wants to be a famous country superstar. So we're going to make her into Mary Swift. So that's the body that Mary has always wanted. And now this is the image that we're going to put on there. So she's going to get Taylor Swift bangs too. Now if you notice, Taylor Swift's looking slightly to this side, so more of her right cheek is showing. Mary's looking the other way. So to get away from that, we go to Edit, Transform, and we can flip the image around. We can scale, rotate, skew, do all sorts of fun stuff. We can always flip it. So I've already done that. We can also, if you notice the color between Taylor Swift, she's a nice orange color, and Mary's quite more natural color. So we're going to have to turn Mary orange. So actually, again, I've done that already. So we're going to close this one. And there, with Mary's turned the other way, and now she matches Taylor Swift in orange color. So we're just going to move Mary's head in here. I'm going to clean up some of the mess we made when we were taking the background out. Now obviously we have to make things the right size. So we're just going to zoom in so it's easier to work on the area. And now we have to make Mary roughly the same size as Taylor. So we're just going to make sure Mary's layer is active. Using Control-T, we'll just resize it. And when you're cloning in like this, the best thing to do is try and match up the features because people have very, very different head shapes. This is actually fairly difficult to do. So what we'll do is we'll put Mary over top. We'll decrease the opacity. And then we can try and make sure there's enough left so we can try and make the eyes and the mouth line up. And then we can see if we have the size approximately correct. So there, it's pretty good actually. If you see the mouth and the eyes, there we go. It's not bad. So now what we have to do is make Mary even more opaque. And we're going to just erase everything on Mary that would be covering up the hair. So we're just going to truly create Taylor Swift bangs for Mary like this. Just right along the edge, just like that. So basically we're erasing the top part of Mary's head and giving her blonde hair and bangs. So if we bring up the opacity, then we can see if there's any other odd overlaps or if it's looking pretty good. Now you notice the resolution here for Taylor in the background. She's a lot softer, there's a lot less detail. So we're going to have to go in here and do a bit of a blur. And that's one of the fun filters again. So we'll just use a Gaussian blur because that way you can adjust it. I think it's a little bit much, or right, maybe it's hard to tell. You can always tweak it a little bit down there. And then we go like this. And then we're going to back up and see how Mary Swift looks. I think she looks pretty darn good. So there, you can quickly clone someone's head on. Now, your homework assignment is going to be just to do something like this on your own. You can take your own image, you can take poor Mary's image, anything on the web, any body, you can take two animals and clone them together, and just do a really, really quick, easy cloning, something like that. If you're doing faces, the best thing is to make sure there's some hair, so you can put the hair over top of the face you're cloning in, and it makes it look very realistic. So there, a quick, easy example. And if there's any more questions or anything, you can always contact me at my home email. That's included in the lesson plan. And that's it for the tutorials. We'll give a quick summary in the last session, and that will be in your PowerPoint presentation. So thank you very much for bearing with all these tutorials, and I hope you enjoy working in Photoshop.